Hi peeps, thought I'd do a quick tutorial on the self-loading cargo, which is an add-on, third-party add-on. You'll need FSUIPC. We'll just get started and straight into it for you. FSUIPC number 7, you'll need to have that before you can connect. It's fairly self-explanatory when you download that particular program. I'm sure some of you are already used to it. And then self-loading cargo is a third party, so you'll have to go to navigate to the website. I'll put a link in there for you. This is a great program to make Flight Simulator come alive for you. We're going to do a flight from just Honolulu to the island next door, so it's a nice short flight. I'll just show you a little bit about the actual panel on the left-hand side. You can actually increase or decrease the size of it. I've obviously got my zoom and everything connected to Flight Simulator. But if you just hover over it and just use that left-hand side, you'll be able to organize the size that suits best your particular screen and view. The one next to it is the settings. On settings, there's a bit of an issue with being not connected to a jetway. So if you're connected to a jetway, which we're going to do in a second, when you're loading, there's a bit of an issue with the open and closing of doors. I've got it set to 25 passengers, and you'll see why it's set to 25 passengers in a minute because of the banging sound. Sometimes it happens. I've struck it once where it didn't happen. I don't know what the configuration, but maybe you guys have got can leave some comments if you've got a bit of a fix or something around that one to fix that. If you go onto the advanced settings, so that's the so the other things that's in here is probably obviously voices. You can change the volumes. The sound effects, you might want, a different sort of gate ambience volume, passenger ambience volume, boarding music, safety announcements. So you can change those to how you want that. Third-party services, it will connect to SimBrief. So if you put your username of SimBrief in there, and I'll demonstrate that in a minute, it will actually download the entire it will download everything from SimBrief that you need into here. So you'll see that in a second. But yeah, so we'll just go back. We'll just get rid of the settings. The other is just minimize and also to kill it. So we'll just or close this particular program. So before you go to start flight, you can actually just go to the advanced settings. And you can go to import from SimBrief if you've done that. So I'm going to import from SimBrief, and as you can see, it already comes up with the time and everything. Cruise 16,000 feet. So it's reading everything actually off SimBrief, which makes things a lot easier. I've put in 25 passengers on SimBrief as well, as mentioned earlier just before. So we'll get underway. Now, obviously, it's going to do a clearance because we're going to run ATC IFR on this one. So,
clearance delivery Hawaiian
so we've just got to wait for that. And while we're waiting for that, then I'll explain some more things.
Hawaiian 1811 Heavy is cleared to Lihiu Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 26 right, climb, and maintain 6,000 feet. Departure frequency is 124.8 squawk 0055.
Hawaiian 1811 Heavy cleared to Lihiu Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 26 right, climb, and maintain 6,000 feet. Departure on 124.8 squawk 0055.
Hawaiian 1811 Heavy read back correct. Contact ground on 133.6.
Okay, so I'm just importing the PHNL, which is Honolulu, into the initial position, and we're just going to go across to take off, put in the 15-degree flaps, and V1, V rotate, and V2. Okay, that's that sorted. Go back to legs, I suppose. All right, so you can always just go through and make sure there's not a crazy altitude in there, which it isn't. It's actually fairly low. We're not even going to reach 16,000 feet. We're going to reach 6,000 feet. before we have to descend, so we'll see how we go there. Now, so we've got all that, and now I can, before I start flight, which is this one here, I'm going to go to ground services, and I'm going to connect the jetway.
Ground Hawaiian 1811 Heavy, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
Hawaiian 1811 Heavy, the jetway is going to be connected.
Now, so that's already been done, so we get rid of that. Oh, it's not quite in place. There's the hood, there's the shadow that's just come down. So now we're going to hit start flight. Now when it goes to start flight, it must be at least 9,000 feet. So there's the first correction I'll have to do. And go to start flight. So obviously you can hear everything that in the cockpit. It actually adds a lot of realism to the flight, that's for sure. So we'll just go for ready for boarding. We'll put on the seatbelt signs while I'm at it. I'll just do the ice and put the beacon nav on and ready for boarding.
Hi cabin crew, we're ready to get going now, so as soon as you're ready you can open the doors and start letting the passengers on board. Thank you.
No problem.
So as you can see, the passengers are going on board. There's only 25. Now usually what happens is at the end of this, before they sit down, the actual door, exit door onto the jet connection, a jetway, it opens and closes and makes a banging sound. So that's usually what happens. Can't do much about that. Obviously they'll probably correct that in time, but I wouldn't let that put you off. So that's it's a minor thing. Okay, this is late afternoon here on Lulu. Haven't flown this route before, so it's all going to be a first time. So usually when this gets to 25. The other things on here are obviously seatbelt, so that's to turn on and off. Look, I just do it through here. It is connected.
Captain, all passengers are now on board.
Okay, so they're on
No
board.
problem, we're just waiting on ground to hand us the load sheet, then we'll be ready to go as well, thanks.
So let's just wait for everybody to be seated, secured, and then I'll disconnect that particular jetway connection. Now this button here is to address the cabin. There's no announcements. So this door is closing in 10
we are
seconds.
pretty much ready to go up here. We've got the load sheets on board, so once everyone's on board, please feel free to close the doors and we can get going.
Okay, great. We're almost done.
Yeah, there's that banging sound as you can hear. If you guys have got to work around that, yeah, leave that in the comments section. So if I now disconnect the jetway,
Ground Hawaiian 1811 Heavy, could you please disconnect the jetway from the aircraft?
so if I just pop on outside, oh, it seems to have stopped. Okay, that's interesting. Never mind, that's okay. Now we can do our pushback and start, so we'll do that.
Ground Hawaiian 1811 Heavy requesting pushback.
Hawaiian 1811 Heavy pushback request accepted.
Okay, I'll just set everything up for this. Now, at different stages, I'll probably just edit the this particular demo. That way, then it won't interfere so much. Obviously, we're going to be so we'll need to go push back and to the left. So if I just pop on the outside of it, so obviously this will be the runway here, the active runway. And it looks like there's another plane that's going to be taking off, so yeah, that will be it for sure. That's good. Okay, so I can release the brakes, start the engines, push back to the left.
Ground Hawaiian 1811 Heavy requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left.
Hawaiian 1811 Heavy, your request has been transmitted to the
The livery on
operator.
this particular one is really good. Obviously you can get that off the mega pack. Some of them are actually back to front, but never mind.
Cabin crew, please arm doors.
Oh, maybe that one wasn't back to front, but some of them back to front with some of the liveries.
Ground Hawaiian 1811 Heavy requesting the endo pushback.
Hawaiian 1811 Heavy, request to end pushback received.
Ground Hawaiian 1811 Heavy with Kilo ready to taxi IFR.
Hawaiian 1811 Heavy, taxi to and hold short of runway 26 right using taxiways Zulu Echo cross runway 4 left Echo cross runway 22 left Kilo Romeo Mike. Contact tower on 123.9 when ready.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is secured. All doors contact. We're ready to
Taxi
go.
and hold short runway 26 right via taxiway Zulu Echo cross runway 4 left Echo cross runway 22 left Kilo Romeo Mike Hawaiian 1811 Heavy.
Hawaiian 1811 Heavy, continue taxi.
Okay.
Roger, Hawaiian 1811 Heavy.
Okay, so you can go to the crew mounts seats for takeoff. So I'll do this once I cross.
Roger, Hawaiian 2906.
Gotta remember to do that. Otherwise you'll get marked down for it. It's all the accountability is pretty good actually in this. Just get the crew seated.
Cabin crew seats for takeoff, please.
Hawaiian 25, cleared to land runway 26 right. Wind 300 at 22.
Honolulu Tower, Hawaiian 1811 Heavy at runway 26 right ready for takeoff IFR to Leahiu.
Hawaiian 1811 Heavy cleared for takeoff runway 26 right. Traffic is generic on final.
Okay, so
Cleared to land runway 26 right, Hawaiian
we're
25.
here at the
Cleared for takeoff runway
to get the
26 right,
takeoff,
Hawaiian
but there's a
1811 Heavy.
plane on finals, so we have to pick this bird up. Do a rolling start. So I just, yeah, there was a bit of a delay getting into the position. As you can hear, there's call outs.
100. Gear up, please.
And what we'll do is it should be able to be an announcement that will come up here. We've reached it.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the cockpit, just to let you know, we've reached our cruise level. we're not anticipating any delays, so hopefully we will have you at your destination on time, as planned. As the cabin crew make their way around the aircraft, please make sure the aisles are clear of any items. And I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight. Thank you.
Okay, so
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for landing. Thank you.
so don't you love that? It's a short flight, so yeah. So it's asking prepare the pass. So obviously no food's going to be served, but never mind. Longer flights, you'll get that option. And the people are going to be starving when they get there, but well, it's their fault for not at the airport eating first of all. So we're going to be doing this right-hand turn here, and then soon we'll be asked to descend. I'm keeping my lights on again. Once you get 10,000, turned off.
Heavy contact Honolulu Center on 119.9.
Hawaiian 1811 Heavy, turn next taxiway.
Bit of a rough landing. Firm landing, as it said on the left there.
Hawaiian 1811 Heavy, contact mount on 121.9.
121.9, Hawaiian 1811 Heavy.
Okay, so we're down now. So yeah, look, that wasn't the best landing, but that's all right. It's probably pretty good for the demo purposes.
To be connected.
Okay, so here we are. We're at
Cabin crew, the aircraft is secure. Please open doors. Thank you.
we're at the. So now the people are going to have to alight. I've got it set on the settings.
Ladies and gentlemen from the cockpit, once again, I hope you enjoyed your flight with us today. On behalf of myself, the first officer, and the cabin crew, we wish you a safe and pleasant journey from the airport and hope to see you again soon. Thanks for flying with us.
So I've got this down to 0 seconds, but in actual fact you can set it to 1 second if you want to. It's just something you can do. We've got 21 on board, they're all getting off, and then it comes up with your report of what you did. And so yeah, look, like I said, probably was a pretty bad landing and stuff at the end, but we got down. So yeah, so you'll get different types of landing. You know, you don't want it to be, obviously there's room for improvement in certain areas, and you'll get that down to stragglers, and then it comes up with the report. Now we'll just wait for that report. And there's always one person that just wants to get all their stuff out of there. Double check their seat that they haven't forgotten their mobile phone. Right, there we go. It's unloading complete and view flight report. So as you can see, pilot upgrade A+. I don't think I should have received that, but never mind. A passenger rating, yep, there's improvement for that. Perfect flight, I don't think so. Your landing was a little firm, but certainly within the comfort limits for the passengers. Try to manage the flare a little better. Yep, but I couldn't agree more with that. And they were passengers were slightly less satisfied when they first got on board, but there's room for improvement. Okay, so as you can see there, I had all the lights and everything, managed the cabin crew and everything successfully. You know, so I suggest that, you know, if you want to increase the realism, this program is by far, look, I'm not paid to be able to say this by no means, but it certainly is it's well worth the money to be able to grab this program, even though there's a couple of glitches in it. I'm sure in time that they'll fix it with some of the upgrades. Now, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.